good evening, one and all. So we are Fools from Iron, and this is the Transfer Centre live, ladies and gentlemen. We've already got Simon in the live chat. There he is. Good evening, all. What a great weekend weather-wise. Yes, absolutely. In fact, I've just been saying to the boys before we hit go live, I've just come back from sunny Southend, and now I'm here, obviously, with Milesy, and we are in. Where are we, Milesy?
Some random place the other side of the water where I don't live.
Well, it might be this place actually. we might have jumped
Nag's Head.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Del Boy. So guys, we're here to discuss just basically some transfer gossip, transfer rumours, news, whatever. I mean, obviously the transfer window hasn't opened yet, despite what some people might think. But there was two stories yesterday, and left back at the Lions just turned up. How you doing, mate? Hope you're good. There was two. I mean, sort of like you've seen the thumbnail, guys. I'm sure you have. And there's two players that I put on there, just as sort of like a little bit of a conversation piece to get going. There was two players that one of them is Carlos Tevez. Now I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is in a report in a production called Ole. And it says that Carlos Tevez could return to East London. Now, just for the record, I don't happen to believe this. I don't. But this is the story doing the rounds. So it looks his contract at Boca Juniors in Argentina is up. And it looks like he's got one of three potential options that it looks like he might be going through. One is very simply retirement. He's 37 years of age now. So personally, I think that's probably what's going to end up happening myself. The second option is that he may go back to Brazil, Corinthians, which is the club that we got him from before we bought him in 2006. And the third option, they reckon that's on the table, is he could come back to his beloved West Ham. Now, 37 years of age, but he's fit as a fiddle. You know, there's not an ounce of excess fat on him still. He's still a really hard-working player. But he obviously hasn't been playing at Premier League level. I don't think that this is a starter. I certainly wouldn't advocate bringing him in as a first team striker. If he was to come in, I think possibly he's going to come in as a second striker, but I don't think he's coming in the first place myself. But it was an interesting thing, and I have to say, I saw the story and went, Tevez, really? So, you know, over to you, boys. I mean, do you think that this story has any legs? Is there a chance that Tevez could be tempted back by European football? We'll start with Steve.
No, I don't think there's any legs in it. Tevez might want to come, but I don't think we'd want him. Not a 37. A great player in his day, but if Moyes is to be believed, he wants to build a new young squad. Tevez hardly fits the profile. I just think it's newspaper talk. 2 and 2 making 5. You know, Tevez has gone, he could go back to West Ham, you know. No, I don't think there's no chance at all. And he's grinning.
Did you think there was a chance of signing him in 2006, Steve?
No, I didn't think that. Well, I didn't know he was when he signed, to be honest. So, you know, no, I really don't see it happening, Gatesy.
Yeah, no, me neither. I think
I'd put FD bet on him not coming back. Look at it that way, and I'm not a betting man, so.
Not even as a second striker alongside a sort of like a younger player, like maybe a Sema, a Holozek, someone like that. You don't think that might be an option?
Well, the thing is, I was reading somewhere today. So far, and the transfer window hasn't opened. We've been linked to up to 70 players. Now, if we're buying 70 players, what are we going to do with them? No, I just can't see it.
Gatesy.
I said it on one of the tweets. We've been linked with more strikers than Len McCluskey. So and Epic, you're pretty much saying what I think about this story. I'm like, yeah, he's 37, but stranger things have happened. I mean, how old was Teddy Sheringham when we signed him? He probably wasn't far short of that.
He played
I
when
know
he
it's
was
a different
40,
time,
didn't
A
he?
bit younger than that.
Yeah, I know it's a different time, but he was probably the same sort of age. But see, I wouldn't say it's. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. But never say never. I've seen a lot more strange things happen in football than that. Jazz, your thoughts on it?
I think he should have come a couple of years ago. We wanted to sign him, and he wanted far too much money. He's a very, very, very rich man. The contracts he's had in his life have been through the roof. I'm surprised you didn't talk about option for China, because he'd go there. He loves money. I'm not putting against him. Go for it, son. I would do the same. But it doesn't mean a lot to him what he earns. Like you said, he Man United for a couple of years, went to City, went there. And what I noticed with him, with Boca, he's not featured for about 6 months for the team much. He's not been involved. And it'll be a case of, I need West Ham more than they need me. And I would say, forget that. I know I talked about Andre Ayew coming in and Costa coming in. So I would put them two ahead of Tevez. I wouldn't consider Tevez unless he's really means he wants to come, which means we give him more or less what we want to pay him. If he really loves West Ham and he wants to say a proper goodbye to us before he rushed off the last time, then come for next to nothing, mate. Then we'll know you love us. Otherwise, I'm looking at Andre Ayew and Costa. So not for me. Not for me at the moment, no.
What do you think? I know obviously the age is probably going to be one of your answers, but you say Costa and or Andre Ayew. What do you think fundamentally they would bring to the table that Carlos Tevez couldn't?
I think Andre Ayew is certainly, when you look at people like Armstrong in the Championship, I think Andre Ayew was one of his most important players. So he's actively very fit, very energetic, like he's always been. He's still playing in this country. He played for us before, and I think he kind of. I don't blame him what happened last time, but it was a lot of things that just didn't go for the guy. I was really happy when he came, and he got injured very early on, if you remember, probably when he stayed, if I'm right. And then he took a lot of flack because there was a big dark cloud over the club at that time, over the stadium, and he suffered because of it. And players, obviously, like the centre-back from Southampton, that's just won the Champions League, things like that. So I want him to finish off unfinished business, and I think he's 32, 33, and he's still an important player, and I think we can use him in the squad format, especially for Europa. Costa is, if David Moyes wants a target man, because I think Costa's still quite strong. I know he's 33, 34, but if we can get like a reasonable contract, I think Tevez at 37, and he's not really. Yeah, I mean, what is he? Argentinian league, not really that competitive. I think for his, he's not been. I don't think he's been playing much for a year, Gatesy. I know the same could be said for Costa, but I think Andre Ayew I'd look at a bit more. But Tevez is very expensive. I mean, I know Costa is as well. I'll just bring in Costa. I would. I mean, yeah, for me.
If you had to choose between Ayew. If you had to choose between Ayew and Costa, which one do you think you'd plump for and why?
That's a difficult one because they're two very different players. We don't have a Costa in the team at the moment, I think. Tony's a very different type of player. Costa, yeah, like a Nani type.
Yeah.
I want both in there. That's what I'm like. But I'll probably. But I'll have to look at. But I don't. Obviously, I would have to check it. Is kind of have a chat with him, see where his mind is. Obviously, made a lot of money already. So I'll have to look at his fitness, his mind, his reasons for coming to join us, and does he want to join? And after that, if it all goes to plan, then I perhaps would go for Costa. I think a bit more the way my mind's more romantic and more. I'm really interested in yeah. I'm interested in the mind of Costa. I just think there's not many players in the world like him, and he doesn't give a shit about anything. He believes in himself, and he gets himself into some trouble last time. I would need to find out what he's like in the dressing room before I make up my mind. But at the moment, because I don't know those things, I would probably go for Costa because we don't have that type of player. And Andre Ayew is very bubbly, very energetic. He's very fit. He gets in people's faces. He does a lot of things, and he could be good off the bench, if you need him and things like that. So not much between them, but I'll probably go for Costa because I think he's a very, very different type of player to what we've got at the moment. I think,
Yeah, Milesy?
I still, if I had to pick another name who was out there, I would go for Arnie and Costa. I think having two of them up front in Europe, both of them together would cause some serious damage, in my opinion, and especially if you're chasing the games in the Premier League, bringing both of them on as another option is definitely something that I'll consider.
Two sort of really I mean this with the greatest of respect, but horrible type of players. Do you know what I mean, Milesy?
Yeah,
100%.
I'll take Arnie back tomorrow, mate. I agree. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is what we don't know. When they walk through that door with the agent and sit on the table, I want to know. You want to come to us, don't you? If it starts with pounds and cheese and pence from the beginning, I tell them get the fuck out of the room because they're that type of characters. Tevez, Costa, Arnie, they're both the same. It's all money, money, money with them. So I'd really want to know that for your age, we're kind of doing you a favour as well. We're a good team, top 6, Europa. Do you want to come to us or not? So there has to be a little bit of that, Gatesy, in the room that I want those vibes that you want to come for the right reasons. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Andre Ayew's a bit different. I don't think he's that much of a bad lad. Yeah.
We've said it, and Duke said it a number of times as well. Is I think players' contracts now should be a basic salary. I don't know, 50 grand, and for a striker, if you get every goal, you get 5 or 10. Make them work their money, and you'll see a totally different player. So if we do that with Costa and Arnie, give them a flat salary and give them the goal bonuses and win bonuses, I'm sure they'll come as a gem.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Arnie could come as a free because China are skint. The league hasn't worked out, and they want to get him off the wages, mate. Yeah.
How about yourself, Cahill? Do you think again? I like I say, I reiterate, I don't believe this story myself. If I had to put money
not at all, really,
on it, but I never sort of I can never rule things out in football because all sorts of very strange things happen. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, would signing Tevez at 37 years of age be a retrograde step?
Moyes, I couldn't see Moyes doing it anyway, but Tevez isn't the kind of player you can get at 37. In fairness, I haven't seen him play in 6 years. The last time I seen him play was when he was at Juve. But the 6 years couldn't have done him that much good. I know he sits back a lot more now. He was sort of going into more attacking midfield, sort of maybe a false 9 sort of role. But at that age, I don't think he's worth getting because he's going to want good money. And with players like Tevez, they were very explosive, relied on their physical attributes. He was small, but he was a pit bull. He was really up for it. But if you're going for someone like that age, players like Ibra and Teddy Sheringham, lads who relied more on technique instead of their physical attributes, are going to last a lot longer and are going to be sort of top strikers even when they hit 35 to 40, like them sort of Ibras and Sheringhams. But when you're like Tevez and you rely on your pace and your physical attributes, it's only going to go downhill when you hit them ages.
Yeah.
I've got to drive people, so be careful if you are.
Yeah, no, I gave it a
thinking
thumbs up,
that.
but seriously, I'm okay. This is my second shandy, and then that's me done. I've got to be a good boy.
But when we're here on a Saturday, more than welcome, because Jazz will be here as well, so it'll be an expensive round.
I'll tell you what, I don't actually think we need to go to the pub. I think all we need to do with Jazz is just go look at his garage.
Yeah,
mate, that's better stock than this pub. Certainly for spirit.
I need to go there. Yeah. I need to pick a date. I'm going to turn up Saturday, stay the night, and pick some Indian food. Duke to heat up behind the bar. Job done, mate. Yep.
Now the other player. Oh, hang on. Oh. Well, that's fair enough then, Simon. Because I'm actually just sitting right there is my 13-year-old daughter.
Fruit shoots.
She'll take the fruit shoots, or a J2O.
Capri Sun all day long. Capri Sun.
If you want to order my daughter, or even my wife, no, but she's on the Pinot Grigio. She sat just here, just off camera.
Wise lady.
Yeah, no, she's enjoying it. So now the other player.
Get her some olives.
Oh, she doesn't like olives. Not a fan of olives. Now the
Oh.
other one. This was in Hammer's News. Now this is an opinion piece. I stress this isn't this isn't sort of like a rumour necessarily that's doing the rounds, but it floats the opinion that Joshua King might be an option. Now we know that Joshua King was someone that before Ben Rama came in was very, very close. Now he's available on a free. Again, is that someone that you boys think it will come? We'll come to Jazz first. I think I can guess what the answer is. Joshua King on a free. Your thoughts? Because in the Hammers News, they're trying to sort of like float. They're floating the opinion that they think that getting Joshua King would be a good move. And again, I'm looking at that story and just going, not for me, not for me. And it's not an age thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 29, but I just don't think he's
29.
good enough.
You're bang on. I mean, if the stories are to be believed, him and Bournemouth are playing a pain in the ass game, and we're really genuinely were trying to get him, and he played hardball. So 1 minute it was like, do you want to come or not? No, I don't know if I come. I want this much. Bournemouth started putting their stakes up and up. No, sometimes you want to go at Sullivan, but sometimes when you negotiate, these clubs and players are a pain in the backside, and they both of them messed up the whole transfer, being like idiots. And Everton, they spend money stupidly. You know, we don't spend any money. I know that's an issue, but some clubs, without any thought process, they brought him in for the sake of it, and even they were like, "Oh, we don't even want to bother with him now." And God knows how much they paid him. I think it was a reasonable fee to Bournemouth, and he was on good wages. He didn't do nothing. No way. No. It again goes back to Gatesy. Do you really want to come to our club? And Moyes only wants people who really want to play for West Ham. And in the past, we brought in players that didn't want to come unless we gave them stupid wages. You know, that's the thing. So I think he missed his chance. He should have come to us. We were going to be a good club for him. You know, he's from the South Coast, not too far from where we are. But I think him and Bournemouth they priced themselves too greedy, and now he's stuck. Now, no, we shouldn't go back to the table now. Forget it. No, not for me. No.
If we was to get a striker in, and obviously we need one, we can't rely upon Michail Antonio. That much is clear. If you was looking to spend a decent amount of the purported 85 million, if that's to be believed, I stress, I'm not saying that's a definite, but that's what's been floated as a figure. Whatever the transfer budget Moyes has been given, what would be your choice to come in as a mainline striker, and why would you pick that particular striker?
I would pick Daka. Because I think he's like Antonio. He's younger. He's quite energetic. He looks like he's got a burst of energy with him. Good pace. He always likes a shot on goal, and looks like the all-round game is good. With Seema, he looks more like a winger. So we got enough of those already, I think. So Seema, Daka looks like a more strike. The problem with Abraham is Gatesy. He takes half the budget away at 35-40 million. And we need to improve a lot of areas, like I spoke about. That's the problem. Abraham would be fantastic. I know that David would really improve him. He'll be like the Carlton Cole signing, where unpolished diamond, similar age, come on board, give us good service. But I can't afford half the budget on one player. So Daka's a lot cheaper. And I know it's a risk again. Austrian League, we don't know. But you just got to sometimes just go for your trust, I think. And especially if Klopp is sniffing around. And he's not bad at spotting good players, like the Mane types, and full of. I like pace, I like energy, I like you. He's only 22, and I think he's got the confidence about him. And he could be in any league, but what I've seen of him, I think go for it. I think I'll go for him, Daka. I think, yeah, for me.
Cahill, Joshua King, yes or no?
Josh King, definitely not. No, he's I don't think he's what we need, really. I don't think he has the attitude for it, and I think he sort of. I know he is. I actually did like him, but I just don't think he really has a sort of head in the game for playing as a Moyes player. And like he was good, but it's like, I know there's no 20 million fee, but it's like signing sort of an Andre Ayew again. And I did like Ayew, but he has no set position. Like, yeah, he's not really a full out and out striker. Like he's just
Yeah.
one of those lads that you can pigeonhole into any of them positions in the attacking lineup. But he's not going to outplay anyone and be your best at that position.
So again, same question to you.
But as a free... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say to Cahill, if you were David Moyes, do you agree with Jazz? Do you think Daka would be your choice, or
Yeah.
you thinking someone else?
No, I've been Daka since we might have been linked with them in January or something. I've been Daka all the way. I don't know if we're going to get him. Them bloody, where's he from?
Liverpool,
Zambia or something.
Zambia, yeah.
Zambia.
All
yeah,
them
the Red Stars
Zambian journalists bloody hyping him up, confusing all of us, not knowing what's going on, saying he's coming to us, and then I don't know, but it's I don't know if it's realistic if we get him, but he would be the one. I'd love Tammy, not for 40 million, 25, 30 maybe, but there's a few of them. Sure, Odson Edward would be great to get, but I'm pretty sure he's on his way to Leicester. And then I know we all sort of know Moyes does like Adam Armstrong, and I know he fell off for a few months there, but he did get 33, 34 goal involvements with 28 goals. So can't really complain with someone like that.
I'm not sure if Armstrong is strong enough to lead it like Antonio, like for like. So we might need to play someone with him. But certainly coming from the bench, a lot of money to bring someone off from the bench to score. But he's like Danny Ings, isn't he? But bit different. But I'm not sure if he's strong enough and on his own. I don't know. I'm not sure about that with Armstrong. But
if we're going to spend 40 million on the striker, mine would be Daka and Edward. If we're going to spend 40 million, you can get two of them for 40 million. That'll be my two choices. Getting two, and then one on a free, which will obviously be Arnie or. If I had to pick out of Arnie and Costa, I'd still think Diego Costa offers more than what Arnie does, in my opinion, and obviously not the history with the what he's done in the past. So it wouldn't be like a forgiving process. I think Costa would come in and hit the ground running.
Yeah, it's good. Good shout. Good shout.
Three strikers then for 40 million.
We are short. We are short in the squad. We need to bring in loads of players. Seriously,
I think I've done a spoiler alert. I've done a spoiler alert for my one on Wednesday, so I'm going to shut up.
I didn't hear it. I will erase it from my mind. It won't even come into the equation. I'll completely forget that one. Steve, again, do you see any real upsides in going for Joshua King, as this opinion piece in Hammers News seemed to suggest would be a good idea?
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, I'm going to buck the trend and say if it was the right salary, Moyes obviously likes him because he tried to get him before. Then but only as a backup. I wouldn't have him as our main striker. But we need depth in that area, and if he's free and if the salary's sensible and Moyes thinks he can get a tune out of him, why not? But I wouldn't. I wouldn't consider signing him. I wouldn't consider signing him on a salary of 80 grand a week.
No.
Which is reportedly what he wanted. I just think that's a waste of money.
That's the issue. Yeah, he was like an arse in the discussions I heard. So I don't think they would go back to a person like that saying, "Up yours, mate. You acted like a cock. Fuck off." Excuse my language, but I mean, King can get lost. Forget him.
But he was waiting in London. If we didn't get Ben Rama, we were going to sign him, weren't we? From what I understand.
But, him and Bournemouth. I'm not sure. I think they both can really get to the same time, and I like dealing with people like that. Not that I'm not like an agent.
Maybe so, but no, maybe so. But if you can get him at the right value, at the right wages, then I don't have a problem.
No, but what did you do at Everton though? He was disappointing at Everton, wasn't he? Apparently, what I know, he didn't do anything, and I think
I'm not too sure he wanted to be there. That's how it looked to me.
Underrating him.
See, King should have stayed there. King should have stayed at Bournemouth. In my opinion, they would have got the top two. If King stayed there, they would have got top two, and they'll be in the Premier League now.
Yeah.
Only thing I'd say to that though is he didn't really tear it up in the first half of the season, did he? Yeah. So I don't think King wanted to be there. Yeah. I'm not
No.
I'm not actually too sure that would be the case, in my opinion. But Titch,
I think Milesy or some players will say is, I'm not getting any game
Evening.
time at Bournemouth. I'll join at a really low salary, but let me impress you and then we'll negotiate in the summer. But there you go, that's just me.
yeah. So we're just discussing Titch. Thanks for joining us. There was an opinion piece in Hammers News saying that they believe, or the contributor anyway, not necessarily Hammers News in its entire form, that they think that going for Joshua King would be a good move. I mean, I don't think he's good enough.
How much? How much, first of all?
He's free. He's free.
The thing is, I know we was interested, and from what I could gather, he didn't want to come to West Ham. So I think that ship has sailed now, and I personally wouldn't want to see him at West Ham, even for free. Or he's like an emergency if we need just numbers in, then yeah. But other than that,
so he'd possibly be a backup option.
He was a greedy
so
mate. He didn't want to. Yeah. Forget him. Yeah.
he didn't want to come. He didn't choose West Ham when he could have done, did he?
No, he's greedy. I heard. Him and Bournemouth started raising the bar like 1 minute. We want striker. Now because 2 days to go, we want that much. Yeah.
What as a third, as in the top target?
Main striker. If you was David Moyes, who are you going to get with your budget?
I'm getting Daka.
From all of the players that we've been linked with.
Daka. Can you hear me?
Yeah. No, we got you.
Oh, Daka. As a priority, it would be Daka. What do you
think he would bring to the table?
He scores all different types of goals. He's fast. He's composed on his weaker foot as well. So he gets sort of 2-yard instinctive, 2-yard tap-ins. He gets shots from outside. Like he's got a lot more to his game than Antonio does. I don't know about the work rate, but I'm saying other than that, he looks more of a striker than Antonio does. So. And he's fast as well, so we need more pace. And he scores different types of goals. And as a striker, you need someone that can score. Remember, Antonio hasn't scored from outside the box. So, and I respect Antonio, and I definitely want to see him stay at West Ham. But I'm saying, for us to move forward, someone like Daka, from what I've seen, he would be ideal for the way we play.
Yeah. I don't think any of the guys in the live chat are particularly keen on. Joshua King either, and as I say, I'm not, you're not, all you guys are saying the same thing as me. But another name that's been linked, and this was earlier today, I don't know if you guys have heard this, Chris Wood. Now,
again,
this is a player that, again, I just think that's a little bit uninspiring, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to the guy. He's obviously a good professional, but no, I think we need to be aiming higher. I think we need to be getting in a Daka. We need to be getting in a young striker with potential on the way up. That's what we need to be getting. Not players that are on the sort of the downward curve. We need to be getting them when they're on the upward. Do you know what I mean?
I think Hilaire's problem was he wasn't very mobile. Right? He didn't work hard, but he wasn't very mobile. Chris Wood is not very mobile. Chris Wood is like your Glenn Murray's, that they'll do well against West Ham. As soon as we sign him, they won't score no goals. He's bored. It's a horrible signing, man. That's not going to get fans off their seats, man. And that's not the way we want to go. A Chris Wood. To me, that's a big step backwards. So that's a horrible transfer.
I'm the opposite.
I don't agree. I don't have a lot of time for Chris Wood. I think he's much more braver than Haller. And if you look at his last even 10 games, he's got 6-7 goals, I think. And you imagine playing for Burnley, what a dour team they are. The way they don't even attack anything.
He scored 10 goals every season he's been in the league, and he plays for Burnley.
He's been a sub for too long at Burnley. I think he's got something about him. And when you put him up there against Costa's age and his age, and depending on the fees, I think he's a really good professional, good player to have around the club. A bit like Dawson.
Right. What's his fee? How much would he cost?
Yeah.
How much would he cost? Roughly.
According to this, now this is from Give Me Sport. Now this was today at 7:30. This was put out, and it says here that Burnley are understood to want £30 million for him. And
come on! Now, Jazz.
Oh, give me a break, please.
Right now, what'd you say, Jazz, to that? Hell no, man. It's like Chris Wood on a free. Yeah, I'll have him. Other than that, no way. 30
No
mil.
chance.
Listen,
That's a joke.
That's what it says here. Now, like I say, this was half 7 this evening. It's
30 mil.
Give me sport. They are understood to want 30 million for him, and this figure could jump as high as 40 million pounds if they receive offers from multiple clubs. I mean, just
Fair play to Burnley for that, though.
Tarkovsky all over again, isn't it?
That's fair play to them, though. That's their way of keeping their players. They don't have a lot of money, and they're a good team, and fair play to them. I think Chris Wood's a really good striker.
What's so special in Burnley? I don't understand. Burnley ain't Paris, is it? Or London or somewhere. Why they? But you don't look at Arnie.
Sean Dyche.
Mick just said the player that I've been saying for ages that I want, but again, Chelsea are believed to be wanting what, 40 million? I think I heard, Marty.
He's got 1 year left on his contract as well.
Yeah. That's the guy I would go for, and I think 20 to 25 million is probably realistic. I think if Chelsea are going to start demanding 45 million quid, the deal's not going to happen, unfortunately.
The only way I would spend 40 million to give Chelsea money would be 40 million for Abraham and Loftus-Cheek. I'd pay 40 million for both of them.
Yeah.
Gatesy, do you know what the issue is? What I heard, the way the Villa checkbook has opened up again, that's worrying clubs because they're paying stupid money, what I've heard on some players. That's the worry because you're coming at the virus thing. Apparently the clubs are skint, which I don't know. But Villa or someone like that is going to start doing stupid things, and that blows the whole market, for us. And we've got to watch that because I've heard Villa are like going. They're linked with Ward-Prowse, and linked with 2-3 other players. They nearly bought a whole team last summer, if you remember. So that's things we've got to think about, isn't it, Gatesy? We think players are going to be cheaper after what's happened, but I don't know who's backing these clubs. Always, who we are. I mean, we're just British owned. They're not even billionaires. I mean, not to the level of other clubs that are owned abroad and stuff like that. So we've got to be worried what Villa are up to and other teams are.
What day is it the transfer window opens, Marty?
June the 14th, I think.
It's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, next Monday, I think. I personally, the only issue.
I thought Leicester already bought someone.
Yeah.
So
the issue is what I've got. The issue what I've got is, especially Alex Crowell, is if the deal's not been agreed and he goes and has a smashing Euros, the fee's just going to go up and up. We need to get this deal done.
And that's the guy that I believe we should. That's the priority. I think that a lot of it hinges on Lingard. I think that Moyes is going to go all out to get Lingard in.
Does anyone know?
I think that everything hinges on how much Man United are going to try and sort of get for him, and that's what I suspect. That's why the Crowell deal is possibly stalling, because I think that Moyes wants to find out how much he's going to have to dip into his pocket of the budget that he's going to be given by Gold and Sullivan, and how much he's going to have left. Because I think that if what he's going to have left is got and whatever Spartak Moscow are going to want for Crowell is going to eat up too much of his transfer budget, and he's going to want to get in, say, a left back or a centre back or whatever. I think he's probably going to turn around and go, actually, I might have to walk away from that one. But I think 20 million again, I think is fair for a player that's only got a year left on his contract.
And they clearly don't want Man United either. So
no, but the question is, I mean, we're talking about Moyes' plans. Are we actually confident Moyes is going to be here next season? Because you get there's a load of conflicting reports out there, and if Moyes just say in the worst case scenario, Moyes goes off to Everton, that completely changes any transfer plans that are out there. So I think until the Moyes issue is settled, and I personally think he'll be here, but until that is absolutely in stone, you can speculate about all these players, but the first thing we've got to do is tie Moyes down, to be honest, and then go from there.
David is exactly like all of us on this phone call. He's asking Sullivan the same questions like, I'll sign it, but are you going to do all these things for us or not? So there you go.
Maybe.
What
do you think about
It's
this
worrying
one?
how contract was agreed is just sitting there on the desk unsigned for what, 2.5 weeks now. Bit weird, isn't it? Bit weird,
Apparently he's on holiday though, isn't he? He's on holiday in Scotland.
Well, Gatesy,
He's
I went
making
for
us
Pereira,
sweat.
didn't I, instead of Lingard. I opted for Pereira because of his age and... Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about this one? Three Hammers has just put in.
Really?
How you doing, Luke? Hope you're well.
Okay.
Adama Traore rumours floating around.
I love this guy.
I got to be
Oh,
honest.
yeah.
I think this guy is basically Michael Antonio,
Chris
younger,
Chris Heath is
fitter,
waiting in the
stronger,
background.
and less injury prone. That's
Much
my-
faster. Much faster than Antonio.
No,
though.
but Antonio had a goal record before coming to us, and Adama Traore is known for not being able to score goals. That's the difference.
Yeah, but then
Antonio could score goals even when he was.
was.
Yeah, but Antonio was scoring goals from out wide. He was scoring goals from even. I'd say he scored a few when he played right back. When he played out wide, he was always back post, and he had an eye for a goal. And he had an eye for a goal at all the clubs he was at before us. But Adama's probably the same age now as what Antonio was when we got him. Yeah, he's playing at a higher level than Antonio was, but Adama doesn't score goals. Pretty sure he only got his first contribution to a goal was in the second game against us, and he might have picked up 3 or 4 in the end though. And this isn't saying I wouldn't like him. I would, but he probably cost 35-40 million, and I'm pretty sure Tuchel wants him at Chelsea. And he doesn't want him as a forward, he wants him as like a wing back.
Okay, interesting.
This is the
What
guy
about
that
you,
we
Jad?
should have got at Middlesbrough, 50 million, and we didn't do it. Yeah, we should have got him at Middlesbrough again. We were virtually linked him very strongly, and we just
should have,
bottled it as usual. And Sullivan, obviously, I want him at 7 million. I'm not sure about him. Yeah, I love him. Yeah, a lot of pace. I'll never forget that game at Wolves at OS when he ripped Creswell to bits with that last-minute goal. Tottenham did the dirty on him. They nearly tried to break his legs, putting 3 on him under Mourinho. They singled him out as the most important player in their team with Jimenez last season. Listen, every player can have a bit of an average season. Doesn't mean you write him off. I think he's very different, very unique. And him and Antonio with Dawson and Souček and a couple of others and corners and bloody hell, I would not want to play West Ham. Who would you pick up? And it's just the thing is, I'm not that. I think the budget is just going to be 30-40 million at the most. I think all these 85 million, 60 million things, I just don't have that hope. I think, what I've heard in the past with the owners. So if 2025 is going to Lingard, that's it, mate. Lingard and 10, 11 million here and there and 2 freebies. I think that's what my that's what I'm looking at. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, we can't just score players like that. That goes back to Abraham. I know Abraham would be up there as one of my top. But if Daka's half the price, then I'll go for him. But I know Abraham makes sense for me. I know there's a good, reasonable player in there, but it's up to the board. And if the board doesn't recognise the ambition at this point, then they're just going to give it away. And that's why, hopefully, when we find out if David has signed a contract, it's on the back of a lot of promises, a better scouting system, a director of football coming in, improving the backroom staff even further with Irvine leaving, a good budget that David can do something with. And then if he doesn't sign it and walks away, then we all know that it's because of Sullivan. He's got no ambition for the club. So, yeah, very, very pinnacle point we're at the moment. Very pinnacle point.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve, your thoughts? Steve?
Sorry, I just had my mic. Yeah, I'm here back. I just had my mic turned off.
Steve, put the pot noodles down.
Yeah, my daughter's bashing around tidying her bedroom next door, and that's quite a task. My thoughts, I'd have Traore tomorrow. I would, yeah. I think he's exactly what we need. He's got pace, he's got power. Okay, so he hasn't scored a lot of goals this season, but he's going to terrify any defence. And if you put him together with a decent striker, yeah, I think that'd be great. But as Jazz said, it comes down to the budget. Personally, I think we will get nearer 65, 70 million than 85. And if you're going to buy Lingard, and let's face it, we ideally need another keeper. We ideally need a left back. We need some
I
cover in
don't
midfield.
think we're going for a keeper, Steve. I know what
You
you're
don't
saying,
think
but
so?
I think because they've got Fabianski tied up for another year, I think they're going to try
Yeah.
and muddle on through and hope that they can get him playing as many games of the Premier League season as possible. And for the games that he's not available, they'll shoehorn Randolph in and hope for the best.
Gatesy, you are Buffon, my son. Take a romantic transfer. Buffon.
Oh, don't. He's 43, Jazz. I mean,
All
you
he
think
wants
that...
is 2 pints from Duke's pub. That's all he wants, a salary. 2 pints a day, that's it.
No, I think that's... I mean, that's even more ludicrous than the Tevez story that I saw earlier. That was just like, no, 37.
Yeah.
No thanks, but no thanks. I mean, like I say, Adama Traore, I'd be like, that's... What do you think about Adama Traore?
Hope is the one, isn't he?
Uh,
Hope is the one.
Yeah.
Hopey. Yeah.
I could see him being. If you buy Traore, I could see Moyes. I know we don't like converting players, but you could see Bowen being converted into a striker like what Antonio is. The difference between Antonio and Bowen is Bowen's got a striker's instinct and knows what a goal is. So that could be an option potentially.
I'll tell you, Lingard wasn't bad, was he, up front? Lingard was very good, wasn't he, with his finishing?
Yeah, there's going to be at least 2 strikers on the 3, in my opinion.
2 on a 3.
How much money?
We're going to get 3 strikers in total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gatesy,
Yes, mate.
how much money did we get for finishing 6th, and how much for qualifying for Europa? Do you know?
Oh. Off the top of my head, mate, I don't. I'll be brutally honest. What is it? It's £2 million for every place up that you finish, isn't it?
I think it's like 140 million we'll be getting for that, and Europa League is half the money as Champions League. So if we get out, if you win the group in Europa League, I think you get like 20 million.
No, but for qualifying, how much did we get?
Oh no, you don't get nothing. It's just your 120 million for where you finish in the league.
Okay, right. So going back to what Jez said he don't think it's going to be 85 mil. Now we've already everybody's.
I'll be honest with you, Titch. I think the 85 million is upon the basis that the board get what the board think they're going to get for the players they want to get rid of. The problem is that do the players that they want to get rid of, because let's face it, they could quite easily turn around and say, like in the case of Anderson, I've got another year on my contract, I'll sit it out, thank you very much, and there's nothing the club can do. The other thing is that if they do get, say, Anderson to agree to go, who's going to pay more than probably 8-10 million quid for him, for a player that hasn't played a game since February?
Casey, did they say it's 85 and includes what we said? I wasn't sure that was the case. I thought it was just like 85 plus.
85 was the figure that was put out. That's, like I say, whether you believe it or not is another matter. I don't happen to believe it because I happen to think that
I don't believe it.
That figure is on the basis of us getting what they think they're going to get for the players that they want to get rid of, and I don't think that's going to happen in a million years.
The budget won't be out under someone like Moyes, because if the budget gets leaked, then every team you want to buy someone from is just going to say, "Oh, we want a wee bit more," because they all know how much you have.
Yeah, I'm worried that Lingard will. I am pretty certain Lingard's going to come. After that, you might not see a much, and the reason for that will be it's a loggerhead between Moyes and Sullivan again. Because Sullivan's going to say, I can bring you 7 players at 7 million each. David's going to no, I want the 25 one now after Lingard. That's what I've got a feeling is going to happen. Lingard's going to come in, I think. But after that, I don't think much is going to happen because of the reason that David doesn't want 5, 7, 10. He wants really good players that could cost 15, 20 upwards. I don't think there's much in the budget for that. That's what I'm worried about. And we never sell our players for anything. Yamalenko, I don't know who's going to pay for him. And yeah, that's my worry, mate. That's my worry. Yeah.
Milesy's just got this. For winning the Europa League, it's €8.5 million. That's for win. You have to win it to get that. If you... Let's have a look. for every draw you get 190 euros. Have I read that right?
Yeah.
This is in the group. If you win a game in the group, you get just over €500,000. If you draw in the group, you get just under 200 million. 200? 200,000. 570,000 euros for a victory. 190,000 euros for a draw. This is in the group stage. So a lot of the money that we would get for getting in the Europa League is dependent upon how well we do there when we get there.
Yeah. Obviously, we can't add gate receipts to that. So that's a reasonable big thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I think that to me 85 million for
Milesy, you're right.
8.5 million.
No, I'm saying 85 mil. If as our budget, to me that doesn't sound like a lot because we need numbers coming through the door. We're in Europe, so even though Jazz and everybody's to me 85 sounds like just enough to sort of get in. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So anything less than that is
yeah.
I don't see how that's going to work.
Hang on. Yeah.
You're probably
85
right.
in this day and age. 85 million is not a lot. That's Allaire, that's Felipe Anderson. We spent almost that on those two players. Do you understand? So I don't think 85 is a lot considering that we're in Europe. So I don't see why the budget won't be 85 mil.
Yeah.
I wish Stone Cold had turned up. Actually, it'd be quite entertaining, wouldn't it? He comes in and starts stunning.
If not, then we're in trouble. If not, because we need, even in the Premier League alone, we needed a stronger squad. So to compete in Europe, we're going to need, no budget players coming in.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of good free transfers out there, but David will do what he wants to do, and I haven't got any much hope. I'm not that excited by the summer. Sullivan has. I hope I'm surprised by Sullivan, but I haven't got any hope. You know, it's going to be the same thing again. We got Lingard over the line in January with a day to go. No one else. We should have bought 3 in and we would have been in the Champions League. But I'm not saying that because in hindsight I can say that I knew back then. If we get 2-3 in, we're going to hit it. We're going to get it, and we were only 2-3 points short. And if Sullivan, as an owner, and we all know he's not a fan, imagine if we got fan/owners, which I know you can't always say, you would say, shit, we've got something here now. And I'd rather, and I would even I was saying, spend the money in January now. Don't worry about January. Just do it now while the momentum's there, But I don't know what they think, what they get up to these people. But you're right. We have 6-7 people short in the squad already. 85 million. What's that? 10 million a player if you're trying to bring 5-6 in? Hardly. That's nothing. We have to look at the free transfer market, and I know the market hasn't opened yet, but it's just. I'm just not that. My hopes are kind of not that great, mate. I'm just not sure about it. And another thing what Sullivan does is, David, you can't sign anyone until we get rid of some 1 in, 1 out system. Yeah.
This one here, right? This is from Luke the Three Hammers. Do you lads think we should do Slavia Prague some favours, loan out youth prospects to them, good solid league to develop Ashby, Elise's, etc.? For my money,
great point. Yeah, great.
I absolutely endorse that. Steve?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, let's look at the 2 we've got from Slavia Prague. They've come back they've got a fantastic work ethic. They're made of granite, and they just run and run and run. What a better place to learn than for these lads.
Czech players have always been good, haven't they, Steve? Yeah, Repka, people like that. Yeah.
I mean, Repka was quite something. He didn't start well, but I remember watching him in his last game. When he was substituted off, he was in tears that he was leaving. Yeah. So for me, get them out there. They'll learn their trade, and they'll learn it in a hard league. And they'll come back to the Premier League and say, well, this is okay. It's not as tough as it was out there. So,
I'm looking at his comment, and I thought we got money for qualifying. I thought there's a figure straight away for qualifying. And that's what Fashizi seems to be saying as well. And that's why I'm asking, because surely that all of that's got to go into the transfer budget, every single penny of that, and some, obviously.
Yeah. But getting back to the point about Slavia, what are your thoughts on that one?
As long as our players are good enough, because obviously clearly they're doing something right at Slavia. So you understand, if we've got players that can be nurtured there, then yes, that's a good idea, because then it builds up a relationship with a club that clearly is doing things right. So yeah, but it's whether our players are good enough, do you understand, for them to take under their wing.
Another thing is, I think Sullivan wants to sign Sema because of the agreement and the friendship he's already got with them. So they're willing to take any instalment plan, like some clubs aren't. So they're very comfortable with West Ham. And for Sullivan, I know he wants Sema, because they'll say, listen, he's your player, I love you. Just add him into the instalment plan that you've already got instead of putting a larger amount up front. I've got a feeling, but then David's quite strong. If he doesn't want him, then he's going to get loggerhead. So it'll be interesting how them two sort it out. But Sullivan has certainly got his word, because he knows David ain't going to take no shit from him. And he's like, I don't know what to do now. So, yeah, let's see what happens, mate. Yeah.
What's that? I mean, what's your thoughts on Sema?
He's okay, but I'm just thinking that because about what's his name, Ben Rama already there. We've got Bowen and Lingard coming in, hopefully, and then Antonio. Because I believe Antonio will drop back into that 4-2-3-1, but Antonio will be one of the three behind. So
wide. I
would not I will not regard Antonio as a striker next season by getting 2-3 proper strikers in. And then I think he gets a bit crowded in there, the three behind the one. Like, where do we fit him in? Is he really a forward? Is he not? But you're bang on with the Daka thing. That guy looks on fire. He's strong.
And he's young. He's got a resale value as well.
Yeah.
22, and he looks like the mini mine, doesn't he? Yeah, he looks good, mate. And I think I know the only drawback is Austrian league, but when you look at his finishing, it doesn't matter what league you're in. You got
exactly.
To that. And the thing with Halle used to play like a bit shy. I don't want to know. This guy will be in your face, active, or give it to me. And I think we should just take a punt on him, I think. And if he is 22, 25, that kind of range, then that's workable. That's the only thing. I'd love to bring Abraham in, but oh my God, that could be a budget on Abraham. That's the only thing, I think. Yeah.
The reason I bring
Niles,
Abraham
you back in,
over,
mate? You all right?
Yeah, press the wrong button.
The reason I bring Abraham in over everybody else is he's proven in the Premier League, and we need a proven goal scorer. You can, as we've seen with Hallett, you can waste a lot of money on somebody you think is going to be good, and isn't. So,
but then with Suchek and Gafal worked out. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, you never know.
But Abraham's more of a better bet if you want somebody who's going to score goals for you.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else has heard about Villa going close to Ward Prowse, and they've tied up another player like 60 million on two players. That's worrying. I don't know who's backing them. I haven't got any knowledge of their owners.
In my opinion, I think a few people have said it, gents. I think Grealish must be going if they're spending this cash, personally. Don't know about you.
And I thought Sancho. Well, Man United was the destination. They got Sancho coming in, haven't they? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. But I saw, back in the 90s, I saw Leeds do this. They spent money they hadn't got, and it finished them. They took a punt. Basically, their whole model was based on them qualifying for the Champions League and getting that money, and they didn't. And that was it for them. They dropped like a stone after that. And I'm not saying Villa are doing that, but if they are, they're taking a risk.
Steve, they bought 7-8 players, mate, and then in January they went for that French defensive guy, if you remember, another 15 million on him. They were like going all out, mate, and then looks like they were out there, they're really quick at it again. So I'm like, wow, it'd be interesting. See what happens.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but you don't know where the money's coming from. That's all I'd say.
Sorry guys, we've got probably 5 more minutes to go. So what I want to do is, if you are realistically, what are the two? If you had to pick two players now who you think are critical for us to progress, just on the spot, who would you pick?
Well, I would say Daka and Lingard.
Yeah.
I'd agree with Lingard definitely.
Cool.
We need a striker. We need I'm saying
Yeah.
Daka.
I'll
How
go
about you,
for
Steve?
Abraham and Lingard. Abraham and Lingard. Those would be my two.
Jazz?
Can I have three?
No.
You greedy git.
I'm thinking of Dak. I'm thinking of Daco Pereira and Pope.
Not Lingard.
It's Jazz.
Yeah.
It's Jazz.
No, Pereira.
He's
Pereira.
going to.
Very controversial, but yeah.
No, that's cool. It's not a problem. What about yourself, Cahill?
I when he asked it originally, I completely forgot that Lingard isn't ours really. So Lingard is one of them. It's do we need a centre mid or a striker more is the question, because we have lads that can. We have striker there. I know we need an out and out one, and we know he won't stay fit. But there are lads there that can probably play striker better than the midfield lads we have that have to go into midfield. So do we need a midfielder more than we need it? Because if one of them lads is injured, we're probably screwed. So I go Lingard and someone like Kral. Like I don't know which centre mid really, but we need someone who's going to be pushing in for the first team.
What do you think about Sandon? What about Sandenberg?
What, Sanderberg of
yeah.
They want
Berger would be
That's nuts.
Yeah, I think he has a relegation clause, which would make him a great signing.
Yeah, but it's still 30 million. I think the relegation clause. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Too much. Way too
Smart
much.
business, to be honest.
But he
Right, we're coming to the end of the stream now, guys.
Arsenal slipping at him.
We're coming to the end of the stream now, guys. So thank you very much for your time and your patience. Just going to do my usual sign out. Guys, any of you that are watching at this point, this is in the banner below the stream on YouTube and on Facebook. This information, so you can copy this and paste it onto your social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that, and put it on there with a little message of what it's about. Obviously, you know Isla, you know the story. She's fighting for her life, and she needs the money for the treatment, the flights, the accommodation, everything that's going on with that family. They need every single penny that they can get, all the help that they can get, that we can put in their way. Please do. So if you can't give any money, guys, just do us a favor. Just take that message, put it onto your social media platforms, get it out there. We need to keep the momentum going. If you can't put anything in the pot, it may well be that someone that you know can. If you can put any money in the pot, even better still. You've got the Just Giving there, so help yourself. Now, those of you that are watching may or may not know this, but we've got a little thing going, and Milesy was this was his brainchild. He came up, he said that he was going to put £5 into the fund for Isla for every goal that England gets at the Euros. Duke and I have said we will match him, and there's been a lot of people that have come through on the live chat that have said we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do the other. So guys, if that's something you want to get involved in, there is a hashtag that we've got on the Twitter feed, and it's hashtag Forged Goals, the number 4 Isla. So if any of you guys want to support that, you know, tag us in on it, put the hashtag on, and you know, even if it's £1 a goal, it doesn't matter, you know. But you know, get the message out there. Let's try and get some good out of this, you know, and let's try and help this family out, because believe you and me, ladies and gentlemen, they need it, and this is a race against time. So thank you very much indeed for listening. So that is where we're going to wrap it up, isn't it, Milesy?
Yep.
Fantastic. Is there something you want to say?
Milesy.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you've liked the video, do like I say the usual thing before I let Milesy say his little thing. The usual thing: like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified of any new content as and when Duke and I upload it to the channel. Milesy, something you want to say?
We're fucking massive.
And for the rest of you boys,
Come on, you irons.
Come
stay
on,
safe.
you
Guys.